Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have another repair video here. This is a 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited with a 3.6 engine. The customer complaint was the temperature gauge was kind of like not, well, it was bouncing like hot, cold, and I found that it has a leak of coolant under the intake, which is a very common oil filter housing, and that has an oil cooler in there. So let me set up the GoPro for this too, which is going to be the close capture. You just press the wrong thing, so bear with me. All right, now we're in video. So I will give you a close look with the GoPro, and obviously the rear camera will be looking at the whole thing. So as you can see, I already removed the intake manifold, which is pretty simple. Um, just for ease of removing it, especially on this one, it's better to get the cowl space out. So I remove the wipers. They're two 15 millimeter nuts. Then I remove the center piece, which is held by a 10 millimeter. This is this is what I'm talking about. So this goes like this. You have to remove a bracket that goes in the middle, they attach with two tens on the back and two tens in here, and then the wiper motor. It's pretty simple. And obviously all the plastics, but I will be showing the installation. I'm also going to remove the thermostat housing, replace that, and replace the coolant temperature sensor, just because the car was running with low coolant. I have the oil filter housing, new OEM. Let me open it up with you guys here, just to make sure that we have the right part. And also to show you how that looks. Yes, it is the right one. So we can throw the box away. So when you get this, you will get all the gaskets, all the filter, everything. And it has two temperature sensors on the back. The one for the coolant sensor, as far as I saw on the and Identifix, is right here at the back. So make sure that you do that before you put everything back. But yeah, so this is how it looks. You need to drain the coolant for this, especially in this engine. You got so much room in here. So I put a catch can under the engine, open the radiator drain port or plug, which I'm actually tightening right now. And I just dropped the mic. So what I did also, I put some um, paper towels on the intake hole, so to wash a little bit the surface for sealing on the gaskets. The connectors that we have here, they're just you need to bring this red part up, and then you can push and release, hopefully, on the black. So you release the red, and then the black you push and the release. This one looks as just a push. And that should do it. We're going to have the NOx sensors under this, which I don't have yet. Yeah, well, this is full of oil all the way down to the transmission. So it was just not a coolant leak, it was also a major oil leak, which is very common on these engines. This is a very uh, problem of engineering. Let me get this hose out of here. That's a number 8. This is for the coolant sensor. I mean the coolant thermostat. I got the cash cans right here, so no problem. And it looks like the thermostat is just held by 210s. I wasn't going to record this repair, but I decided later to do it, so that's why the manifold is out. And any time that you have a overheating issue on a car, I would recommend to replace the thermostat and the coolant sensor. That's how that looks. Let me put that right here. And the thermostat housing is not original. It's coming from CarQuest. It's a good brand. It's a Mali, I think. That's what they use or to fabricate these ones. Yep. It's made in Mexico. Hopefully that can catch up in better on this camera. So we will keep that here. As usual, I have my bench with all the stuff in here. All right, so let's get this oil housing out of here. We have a hose that connects to that. The easiest way is to pull the housing out and then disconnect that. Let's get our hands on that. Just want to see what is the socket. Yeah, it's E8. Need a longer extension. You're going to see two little torque bolts in there. You leave those in there because those just hold the oil cooler, which will come with a new part. All right, so they're all loose. Let me get them out. And the bolts will come also with the new oil cooler. I like to remove it so it's easy to get the cooler when I can. Looks like that one is fighting, so we don't need to be worried about these ones. Got it all coming in. And yes, we got a big lick. So now with this like that, we can try to use a hose plier, and on the back with this clip tool, there is like a Christmas tree holder for that hose. Just fish it out, and then you can pull the whole thing out. And as you can see, this is destroyed. See, this is all broken. This should have, let me bring the new one inside here so we can compare before I remove the whole thing what we have, because those pieces are there. So let me see. Let's put it the right way. Actually, it's just cardboard. It's just carbon. Nope, I was wrong. I was just thinking there was something in here, but it seems to be just carbon, probably from the temperature, because it's on the coolant passage. I mean, this whole center. Hopefully, you guys can see. Let me get the GoPro close to that so you guys can see a little better. Let me touch the screen. Yeah, and that I can see what I'm showing you. And let me point at what I'm talking about. So right here, you see it's like, I mean, this is the gasket, which let me remove. But you can see that it looks like a carbon deposit. It's from temperature. And look at the whole body. And if you see, let me get a light. Look at that transmission. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm trying to show. Right at the back, right there. The whole transmission is just covered with oil. Look at the amount of oil we have here. And coolant. And I drain everything, so there is no coolant in there. So this is what it was in there. All right, guys. So let me put this back here, which is a nice thing about this small camera. I can get it very close to where I want, and it will stay. Well, hopefully. Oop, just put a drop of coolant on my camera. Well, at least this one is waterproof. But yeah, so like this, it's just, yeah, we got oil in there. Who cares? We're gonna have to clean the whole thing, right? Now we can get this hose out of here, and just to be careful with the hose itself, always use a pick to break it loose. And this one is soft because of the oil. So I'll have to see if I need to replace that, because oil and rubber, they don't go along. All right, so this is garbage. So just dump it in the old box for the new part. Okay, so let me see what my manager wants to do. I'm going to recommend replace this hose, which is definitely swollen, and see what they want to do with those two knock sensors, because right now is the time to replace those. So let me stop the video 1 second, because time is of essence, especially when it can hold you for the repair. So I'll be right back. All right, let me make both cameras start recording. No, that was, yep, good. I thought it was a picture. All right, let's see what the customer wants to do, because it might not be all what I want, right? Okay, so let's get onto this coolant temperature sensor, which is very, very hard to reach, even without the manifold. Yeah, I think the gloves are not helping. Try to keep gloves always as much as possible. Keep my hands clean and protected. But sometimes there's just no good. There are kids in your way. So this has a cover for heat. It's like a heat shield. Wow, this this is just so beautiful to work on. I don't think I'll be able to show you what I'm doing here. So, and it's not that important. I guess the most important thing is the location. I just wanted to see the tab itself for that sensor. What I usually do is I point with the light. Yeah, it has a It has that red cover all those connectors have, and then the black tab you have to push. So let's see how I get this done. And we have air conditioning tubes. It seems like the dealer tinted that has never to be replaced. It's not an importance, it's just a coolant sensor. I was able to pull the tab with the pin puller. Wow, need to get a board or something I can reach a little or be a little taller. Yeah, this is shortest key. Wow, that is just beautiful. Yeah, very, very nice. All right, guys, let me hold on into that so I don't make the video 2 hours long just to remove a plug. I'm going to show you too how I get rid of that fluid first. For that, I use the Mitivac MBT MB7300. It's a suction tool. It's just like this. All right, guys, so let me clean this up. Let me get that coolant sensor out, and I'll be right back. I forgot to take the GoPro away from this cleaning, but I cleaned it up. So hopefully you guys get to see how that looks now. I haven't cleaned the transmission area a little bit. I mean, it's just a mess on the back. So I'm putting the new thermostat here. Let me get the torque spec for all this, and I share that with you. And I'm waiting on the hose. That hose on the back was just a short hose. Goes from the tube here to the bottom of the oil filter housing, and then on a hard tube goes to a bypass, which is for the uh, heater inside. But that has a bypass inside here. So I'm waiting now on parts. So I will have to stop the video, and then as soon as I come back, I will show you the torque specs for the oil cooler, for the thermostat, and for the intake manifold, which is divided in two pieces. They use the same kind of fasteners, or 8 millimeter. At least that's what the socket size is. All right. So I'll be right back. Hello. All right. So one other thing I want to show. In the meantime, I'm waiting for parts. It's just a preparation. These are the old bolts for the off of the housing, and this is the bracket that I was mentioning you. You'll see that when I get to install. These are all plastic, and I always clean it. You know what do, or what I do, just spray blade cleaner on a rag, at least for this flat surface. I don't apply directly on the plastic. Because all that is important is to clean and dry the mating surface. This will be where the upper gaskets are. As you can see, that cleans it very well. And I do have the gaskets all coming from Chrysler or the dealer, their Mopar. All right. So that's how that looks. I can put this I'm running out of space in here. Yeah, the intake manifold, unless you want it to clean the throttle body, which then you will have to do some sort of relearn, kind of, but I would not, at least not myself. Make sure. I usually put this peaking mats in there. Is that good? Yeah. All right, so these one you need to clean a little more because they are not flat areas or surfaces. As you can see, the gaskets are full of oil. And this vehicle, I don't have the ticket here. I think it's just a little under 100,000 miles, which it shouldn't be like this. So I fished the gaskets out with this pick. I got these ones from Harbor Freight. Yep, they work good. I got another set from Matco, and I still have it on the package. These are been lasting for long, so I like the size. It's also very convenient. So in this case, we have a little bit of a carbon buildup. So I like to use the gum cutter just to cut that carbon. It's the best for that. Don't waste your time with any other products. And I recommend if you're going to get your hands into that, put a gloves on it. Otherwise, it will get under your nails for weeks. And I know so because I've been there. And if you want, like I always do too, let me throw something away. I have this bronze brush, which will not do any scratches. It's perfect for plastic and for aluminum. This will help you clean the injector tips in here. I'm not removing the injectors. I'm not resealing the injectors. And you can do that if you want. I mean, we have to be cost effective for the customer. I do recommend things. If they don't want to do it, that's up to them. I told them I will not be putting any extra labor at all for replace those knock sensors. If the customer wants to do it, it's his sole decision. You can just recommend, right? And as you can see, it's already looking differently or different. Do you really want to go the whole 9 yard with the intake? It's your car, it's yours, you can do it. Me, I remove as much as I can. You got to, stay in between margins so you can make money and do a good job as well, right? But some cars are just so neglected that it's hard. This one is not. I'm not, complaining. I'm just speaking in general. This one is one of the balls that just fell out since I got it, backward on the bench. Then I finish with the brake cleaner, which it dries up quick. And I like to put a plastic container so I don't get all the fluid on the bench, which the paint will try to come out or come off of the bench. Same thing after that, just the rag. And I probably use sharp air to dry this as much as I can. And that bolt is the one in here. So let's do same thing in here. We don't need to use that much of gum cutter here. It's just oil. So I like to use this brush, or yeah, it's a brush, right? You can use this on the part cleaner if you want to, again, go deeper in the cleaning. I am not this time. Doesn't matter how much you try with this plastic, they all will always look like gray color. Now I'm going to put this right here on my oil catcher, for the oil changes. Let me get the air here. Just trying to show a little more since I didn't show the removing, so you guys get to see how I do my work, which this is probably not the best sample. The important parts is the sealing areas where the gaskets will go. So all that's all you really want to dry it up. That is perfectly dry right where the gaskets go. You see right here? And it's two different types. The new ones, the lower ones are green, and these ones are kind of like tan color. So you really want to have that as dry as possible, because the oil again is no good for the gaskets. They're made out of rubber, so yeah. I mean this is it's a special material, but still it will make it brittle on the long run, right? They got this little, nipples, let's say, they make the gasket stay in place. All right, so we're turning this around. We're gonna put a new one, and we're gonna have to do the same thing here. So let's not use the new one yet. Not yet. This one is almost empty. Get another one here. Yep. So again, just a little spray, and all I'm doing is drying it up. Perfect. Everything is good in this side. That is just from the fuel rail. Let's do this. This one come in individual packaging. I haven't get the hose yet, so I went to get it at the dealer. And the dealer told here that the NOx sensors are not a common failure, so they don't understand what they will need to be replaced. I'm like, okay, well, sure, no problem. I just do recommendation. You know, it's a $30 part. You want to pay 4 hours to then later on removing. It's been under oil and coolant for how many miles? I don't know. So perfect. Customer want to take that advice. That's up to him. I'm also gonna do a little, I don't know if how you call that, but recommendation, I guess. I am going to the TST big event in New York, uh, March 30. This one is not going right. So it's my first time. I have heard such a great things about that seminar. I'm also very excited because a lot of good guys are going to show there. Uh, Paul Danner from, Scanner Danner, Keith DeFazio, Erico from San Minato, Ivan from Pine Hollow Diagnostics, and Flat Red Masters, and a whole bunch of good guys. G. Truglia, which is the president of TSD, which is doing the event. I want to meet him as well. And obviously, I want to visit and enjoy a class from Thornton. And I will be more specific on the other two classes, which are great, great trainings as well. That one doesn't want to go in there. But so I just want to give a little heads up on that. Again, it's March 30th. We'll tell you in a separate video where the address and everything from the event is going to happen. I'm also looking forward to meet Scott Brown from Diagnostic Network. He's a great guy, and all of you know him probably, at least from his career. He was part of EATM, and now he went on this new project with Diagnostic Network, and it's been awesome. Make sure the gasket is going in, which looks like it's not in here. Everything else is good, so this I can see the section of the manifold here. It's kind of like not the right thickness for the gasket. Plastic design. All right, so all right, I went in. So guys, I'm going to stop here, and I'll see you in a little bit. Found a good spot for the GoPro, which will not be on my way. It will not fall, and I think the capture is just perfect. All right, so I got the hose for that coolant passage on the back, right from the dealer. I got the gaskets, I got everything except for the knock sensors. So this is the coolant hose. It goes on the back and it has this Christmas tree thing that actually on that one is so brittle that it broke. So I need to kind of like fish it out. The original ones they come with like these clips that you pull out when you install it. So let me get my headlight as well. I like to work with very good lighting. The thermostat is already installed. The coolant sensor already installed. So I need to get that hose out of there first. For that, I like to use this. This one is from a Snap-on, but a lot of a lot of other manufacturers or tool makers sells it too. So we got the two right here on the back. Let me see if I don't knock the GoPro down, because it's just sitting in there. It's just such a lightweight. It's perfect for this thing. This kind of captures. At least the tube allows to move in there. No, that didn't cut it. I didn't catch it. I think I do now. Feels very hard. think I am just catching it from the side, not completely. It's just so poor space in there. With all the room that we have on the front of this engine, they gotta make it so push back. All right, got it now. Sorry if I move you guys. Just double check that I had the hose, actually the clamp